Firings to raise the Progress's orbit to match that of the International Space Station, as well as the burns to conduct this two-orbit rendezvous to bring the Progress in for its docking to the Pirs docking compartment have been executed flawlessly so far. No issues reported. The Progress is rock solid as the International Space Station and the Progress fly 259 statute miles over Argentina, moving from southwest to northeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. This view now from an external camera on the International Space Station showing that black dot, that is the Progress 76 cargo craft, which will be growing in size in the field of view in the next few minutes as it approaches the neighborhood of the International Space Station. It will conduct a fly around about 24 minutes from now at a range of about 400 meters away from the station, a fly around angle of 57 degrees to precisely align the forward docking probe on the Progress with the Pirs docking compartment's docking port. At that point, there'll be a period of a few seconds or so for station keeping at a range of 215 meters to allow flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center to assess the precise alignment of the Progress with the Pirs. And at that point, the initiation of the final approach for docking will be conducted. The link-up of Progress to Pirs is scheduled at 12:47 p.m. Central Time, 1:47 p.m. Eastern Time to wrap up this fast-track two-orbit rendezvous that has become standard commonplace for Russian resupply vehicles. On board the Progress, 2.7 tons of food, fuel, and supplies broken down. That consists of 1,102 pounds of propellant, 220 pounds of oxygen and air, 926 pounds of water, and 3,351 pounds of dry goods, basically clothing, spare parts, hardware, experiment material for the crew on board the International Space Station. And by the way, once the Progress does dock to the International Space Station, the mass of the International Outpost will have grown to 983,281 pounds. That is a mass equivalent of 491.6 tons of mass for the International Laboratory.
Unintelligible.
Принял.
Unintelligible. Is activated. Copy.
This view again from an external camera on the International Space Station showing the Progress. We had it there for a second. We'll reacquire that in just a moment as we hand over between satellites on the Tracking and Data Relay satellite system. The International Space Station and Progress are humming along at a speed of 5 miles per second, moving from southwest to northeast, crossing the border between Argentina and Paraguay. This pass of the station will take it just to the southeast of the capital of Paraguay, Asuncion, as it moves across that border into the Amazon region of Brazil. Yeah, aboard the International Space Station, Russian cosmonauts Anatoly Ivanishin and Ivan Wagner are in the Zvezda service module. They are at a workstation that basically is a joystick called the Toru system, the telerobotically operated robotic system that they would employ in the highly unlikely event that a failure would occur to the Corps' automated rendezvous system, which was checked out earlier during the first hour and a half of the flight of Progress and was found to be in good shape. It is that Corps' system that basically winds up bouncing radio signals back and forth between a comparable system on the Russian segment of the station to update the distance between Progress and the station and its rate of closure in meters per second. Once the Progress links up to the Piers docking compartment, there will be a period of just a few minutes where the relative motion between the two vehicles against one another will dampen out. The forward probe will begin to retract and basically pull the Progress in tight with the docking port interface to allow hooks to close to form a hard mate between the two vehicles. There will be a period of about 3 hours of leak checks by Ivanishyn and Wagner on the Russian segment of the station to make sure that we have an airtight seal at the docking interface to the Piers docking compartment before the hatch to the Progress will be open, allowing the cosmonauts to begin unloading some of the more time-critical cargo that's on board. Once again, with the Progress docking scheduled about 38 minutes from now, this view from an external camera on the International Space Station as the complex and the Progress fly in tandem just to the southeast of Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, moving soon to cross the northeastern coast of South America and out over the South Atlantic. Today's docking is yet another in a long series of critical operational activities that has dominated the landscape for the Expedition 63 crew on board the International Space Station, highlighted by a quartet of spacewalks in recent weeks by Station Commander Chris Cassidy of NASA and his NASA crewmate, Flight Engineer Bob Behnken. Behnken and Doug Hurley are in the home stretch of their mission aboard the International Space Station that began with their historic launch aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from the Kennedy Space Center back on May 30th. Arriving aboard the station on May 31st. They are beginning departure preparations that, if all things fall in line and the weather is good, will result in an undocking of the Crew Dragon, the Endeavour Crew Dragon vehicle from the International Docking Adapter at the forward port of the Harmony module of the International Space Station on Saturday night, August 1st, setting the stage for a splashdown in either in the Gulf or the Atlantic side of the coast of Florida on Sunday, August 2nd, the first splashdown by U.S. astronauts since Tom Stafford, Deke Slayton, and Vance Brand guided their Apollo capsule to a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean 45 years ago tomorrow to wrap up the Apollo Soyuz mission. The Progress now closing in on the vicinity of the International Space Station, about 16 minutes away from beginning the fly around that will align the forward docking probe of the Progress with the Piers docking compartment. 4.9 meters now separating 4.9 kilometers, I should say, separating the Progress from the International Space Station. The Progress, once linked up, will remain at the station for about 4 months plus, not scheduled to return to Earth until early December. Always an impressive sight to see this expedited rendezvous of a space vehicle. The Progress having launched just under 3 hours from now, 3 hours ago from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Now coming, growing larger in the field of view as it moves to within 4 kilometers of the International Space Station. Docking schedule 34 minutes from now. The Progress is involved in a series of pre-programmed impulse burns, as they are called, very small firings of its engine to essentially put on the brakes as it approaches the neighborhood of the International Space Station. Progress and the International Space Station have now passed across the northeastern coast of South America, and soon will skirt up the west coast of Africa on this orbit of the Earth.
Moscow Station, Space to Ground 1. Yes, we can see the pictures and the recording is on.
Принял вас. Получаем изображение. Изображение довольно-таки качественное.
And the quality is pretty high.
Ожидаем тормозную коррекцию. Напоминаю, что включение торус.
This view from the external camera, the engineered overlay camera on the outside of the Progress, showing the data that is being evaluated by the flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow. In the lower left-hand quadrant of this view, you'll see the descending numbers. That's the distance between the Progress and the International Space Station, basically 2.5 kilometers now separating the two vehicles, and the value underneath it, minus 7.8, 7.7. That's the rate of closure by the Progress in meters per second, how quickly it is approaching the station.
Moscow Station, Space to Ground 1. We can see the picture, and the picture is here, but I can't say that it is stable. Yes, we can see the same. There was a short dropout. Affirmative. Yes, we can see that SKD is on.
Flying serenely over the South Atlantic, the Progress 76 cargo craft on final approach to the International Space Station a short time from now, about to begin its fly around less than 10 minutes from now.
Acquisition is confirmed as well.
All of the fine-tuning impulse burns have gone off as planned. No issues reported with any of the Progress systems.
And the camera can see the station right now.
Принял.
Affirmative. We can see that as well.
Экипаж, можно приступать к включению.
You're go to activate Toro because TV is confirmed. Affirmative. We are activating Toro. Toro activation command has been sent.
And that call through the interpreter from Russian flight controllers in Korolyov to Anatoly Ivanishin on board the International Space Station signals the activation, as planned, of the Toru, the backup control system, the telerobotically operated rendezvous system that is now in a hot standby in the event, unlikely event, of a problem that would crop up with the Corps' automated rendezvous system in the final phase of this approach for docking.
Copy. We'll be reporting that.
Just 1.5 kilometers now separating Progress from its destination.
Candle power LED is on. BPS control panel is on. I'm reactivating BPS original. The last ones and the first ones illuminated and then went off. Copy all. Now route test. Rotational hand controller up, left. 3, 4. Rotational hand controller down. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a routine test of the Toru system, the backup rendezvous system. The Corps' automated rendezvous system, which is the primary guidance system for the Progress resupply vehicle, is solid as a rock so far, guiding the Progress in to its destination and the start of a fly-around of the station some 7 minutes from now.
1, 2, 3, 4. And clockwise. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Translational hand controller test. Up. The middle one, the last one. Down. Middle one, last one. Are eliminated. Fourth, middle one, and last one. Starboard side, middle one, and last one. I'm pulling it, so again, the middle one and the last one, and pushing it, and it is the middle one and the last one again. I'm activating BPS control panel. The LEDs were eliminated, they're not illuminated. And now they're not illuminated, and the original BPS is also activated, and the same pattern with LED illumination. And I'm going to step 4.3 testing acquisition and execution of commands from BPS Toro control panel. I'm activating BPS original.
900 meters now separating Progress from the International Space Station as it flies up the western coast of Africa.
And I'm performing the next step.
The International Space Station is in the docking orientation. The 5 crew members on board enjoying the view. This is the view now from the Progress itself, looking at the station, a bit bloomed out at the moment. And a better view now of the station from the external camera on the Progress as it closes right now at a rate of 2.3 meters per second. At the time of contact and capture between the Progress and the Piers docking compartment docking port, the Progress will be moving at a very, very slow rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second.
Copy all, Anatoly. Now go to page 22, and you will be monitoring automatic rendezvous and automatic docking mode. Copy, we're going to page 22.
The testing of the backup rendezvous system is complete. Toru is available if required. However, the Corps' automated rendezvous system continues to be the sentry that is bringing in the Progress for its automated docking that is scheduled less than 24 minutes from now. About 3 minutes away from the start of the fly-around, which again will be conducted at a range of about 400 meters between Progress and the station. A fly-around angle of 57 degrees to align the forward end of the Progress and its docking probe with the Piers docking compartment on the Russian segment's Earth-facing side. It has been 3 hours since the Progress began its journey with its launch from Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome, now just a few hundred meters away from the International Space Station. Once again, the view of the International Space Station from the Progress at a distance of just 500 meters, closing at 1.2 meters per second. The Progress passing just to the south of Casablanca. Standing by now for the start of the fly-around. So far, so good. A perfect trajectory by the Progress as it approaches the International Space Station.
Moscow Station Space Ground 1, the fly around has started.
And the fly around has commenced.
The fly around.
400 meters now separating the two vehicles. This fly around angle of 57 degrees will take around 6 minutes to negotiate. Guided automatically by the Corps' automated rendezvous system, the Progress continues its fly around of the International Space Station to align itself with the Pirs docking compartment on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. "274 meters now separating the Progress from the Pirs docking compartment, closing at a rate of about a half a meter per second. We're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from a very brief period of station keeping where the Progress will cease its forward motion and await final approval from the Russian flight controllers in Korolyov before the command is sent for final approach and docking. Passing just to the south of Florence, Italy right now.
The fly around has started.
Принял вас, наблюдаем разворот.
Yes, we can see the maneuver as well.
And Progress in the process of rotating itself so that its solar arrays are at the right orientation angularly for final approach for docking to Pirs. At the top of your screen, docked to the aft port of the Zvezda service module, is the Progress 75 craft. And station keeping has begun.
Station keeping is on. Copy. Station keeping is on. Let us control the monitor the station keeping mode. Copy. Copy all.
This should be a very brief period with all of the Progress systems in good shape. A final validity check by the Russian flight controllers.
Range is 207 and the rate is 0.13. Copy. We received the command, or rather the guideline, to send the pre-shell command on your own and go to BPS original. Copy all. All 4 LEDs are on. And please do that from display 44. Copy all. And the command is confirmed. And I deactivated. Yes, we can see that. And the operation is on.
And with everyone in Korolyov very pleased with what they're seeing, final approach has begun.
The rate is 0.85. The range is 187. Copy all.
Экипаж, напоминаем, вход в тень
We would like to remind you that the eclipse will begin at 17:44. Copy? Yes, we actually remember. It's 17:44. And if needed, please work with AGC, but please report us the on and off times. Copy. BPS original is on. Okay. The operation is activated, but the docking port is slightly to the right.
Да, наблюдаем.
We can see the same.
The Progress in the International Space Station now flying into an orbital sunset over Central Europe.
The rate is 0.68, and we're still slightly off, so the port is slightly to the right. Yeah.
Around 10 minutes away from contact and capture. Just under 100 meters separating the two vehicles, closing at a rate of 0.5 of a meter per second.
Дальность 86, курс 42, одна, чуть больше одной клетки правее мишень находится.
The range is 86, the rate is 0.42. Yes, we can see the picture, so it's like one square off. We can see that slight misalignment as well. The range is 73.33 is the rate.
You can see the circular port just to the right of the crosshairs. That is the docking port on the Pirs docking compartment. It ultimately will come in line at the center of those crosshairs where the docking target is located just below that circular port. Again, once we have contact and capture, there will be a couple of minutes worth of the dampening out of relative motion between the two vehicles before the forward docking probe is retracted to basically pull the two docking interfaces flush against one another to form a hard mate and allow hooks to be closed.
Принял.
The docking port is still slightly to the right. Copy.
The docking mechanism on the Progress is now powered on.
Принял.
2 squares to the right. 43 is the range and 0.19 is the range rate. Copy.
Экипаж, картинку не...
Station, we can't see the picture yet. Please keep reporting.
Дальность 30, включая БП, исходная работа.
I'm activating BP original, and the range is 0.03, and operation is on. 2 squares to the right, the target. And the target is moving slowly to the center of the screen. Yes, we can see the picture, and we can see the same. Yeah, we can see that slow movement towards the center. 1 square near the center. Yes. We will be simply using the size of the target because the docking isn't during the eclipse.
"26 meters now separating Progress from the Pirs docking compartment, closing at a rate of just over 1/10 of a meter per second.
The target is 2 squares to the right.
Принял вас.
In approximately 15 meters. Copy. Copy. It's drifting towards the center still. I'm talking about the target. The target is partially invisible, so it's in the eclipse. Okay, yeah, we can see the roll maneuver, and the target is invisible, and it's in the eclipse. I honestly don't like these maneuvers. With the AGSC, you can see the picture. It's 1 degree to the right. That's where the target is.
Вас понял.
Copy all.
Continuing to close at about 1/10 of a meter per second.
To the right again, around 2 squares. I believe that we're at 8 meters. Isn't it the time to switch to manual control? Stand by. We are standing by. The target is drifting near the center. I believe it's up to 10 degrees in the roll axis, so there's misalignment. The range is 5 meters. The cross lines are off, not misaligned, not aligned. Are we going to switch to manual control, Moscow? Stand by. We don't have a go yet. Okay, we are standing by. So roll is around 5 degrees. So the misalignment on the right is around 2 squares. Yes, we see the same. Please stand by. Everything is nominal, Anatoly. Don't do anything. Here it is.
Contact confirmed. Capture confirmed.
Capture is confirmed. The Sudan flag.
It was all done by automatic control of the Corps' rendezvous system.
Copy all.
Docking confirmed at 12:45 p.m. Central Time, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time.
Driving and then go to page 28 of the tour procedure. Unintelligible.
And the docking probe is now driving. Docking occurring over northwestern China at 12:45 p.m. Central Time, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. The Progress is safely docked to the Piers docking compartment. Right at the end, it appeared as if there was a slight misalignment between the forward docking probe of the Progress and the Piers docking compartment, but the Corps' automated rendezvous system made the necessary correction. Flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center were happy with what they saw and allowed the Progress to guide itself in for an automated docking at 12:45 p.m. Central, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time, wrapping up a 3-hour, 19-minute journey from the launch pad at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
Sudan mode is master. It's in the indicator mode. Copy all.
Once again, docking occurring just a couple of minutes ahead of schedule at 12:45 p.m. Central, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, go ahead.
Over northwestern China.
Come again, Anatoly. Are we deactivating the recording? Yes, here we go. Copy all.
The docking occurring via the Corps' automated rendezvous system, which performed as advertised in essentially an uneventful rendezvous that began with the launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan this morning at 9:26 a.m. Central Time, 10:26 a.m. Eastern Time. The docking probe still in the process of retracting. That will initiate the closing of the hooks to form a hard mate between the two vehicles. And standing by for the confirmation that the hooks are closed. This is Mission Control Houston. Confirmation now received from the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov that the hooks are closed. We have a hard mate and a good mate between the Progress 76 cargo craft and the International Space Station. So its journey is now complete. 2.7 tons of food, fuel, and supplies have been delivered to the station. The hatch to the Progress will be opened up by Anatoly Ivanishin and Ivan Wagner later on today. And they will begin to unload the cargo that has now been delivered. Amongst that cargo, almost 3,400 pounds of supplies, clothing, experiment hardware, and other spare parts. So to recap, the launch of the Progress 76 cargo craft began with liftoff from Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome this morning at 9:26 a.m. Central Time. It was 7:26 p.m. at the launch site in Baikonur to place the Progress in a narrow corridor to begin a two-orbit rendezvous to the station, which has become now the standard mode for delivery of the unpiloted cargo craft by the Russians to the international complex. All of the rendezvous burns were executed in serial fashion and in good shape with no issues, and the Progress arrived at the station, linking up to the Piers docking compartment 2 minutes ahead of schedule at 12:45 p.m. Central Time, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time over northwestern China. So with the hooks now closed, a hard mate having been achieved, leak checks will be conducted over the next couple of hours or so by Ivanishin and Wagner to ensure that we have an airtight seal between the two vehicles before they open the hatch to Progress and begin unloading its cargo later today. So with that, we'll wrap up our coverage for today. Progress 76 safely docked to the International Space Station. From all of us here at Mission Control in Houston, have a good day. Be safe out there. This is Mission Control Houston.